What's going on, everybody? Chris Lawrence 420 on my channel here. I got Michael Beelan with me. How's it going, man?
Going good, man.
We are about to go over and discuss some of our favorite best matches and moments from Survivor Series. So, oh yeah. So I'm about to go take it right now. If anyone hears any lightning and storming in the background, it's because here in Cincinnati, real bad storm and shit. I even hear fucking what sounds like ambulance trucks and stuff going off outside too. But it's cool, and lightning that is lighting up my whole entire. Here comes a big one. Oh,
damn, I heard that one.
There we go. Yeah, man, it's even the fucking storm's not gonna stop us. So let's go through the moments real quick on screen. If anyone's actually watching this itself, you see that we have various pictures of some of our favorite moments of Survivor Series, and we're going to go through them real quick of what we think, me and Mike think, are some of the best matches and moments. Number one for us, we would have to go with the Montreal Screwjob 1997 Survivor Series. Brett versus Shawn. This is when anyone that don't know this, and if you don't know this, then you're not a fucking real wrestling fan, to be honest with you. But if you don't know it, it was Brett versus Shawn. Brett was the champion. He was leaving to go to WCW, and that was officially, I think the Monday after that was his official last match or whatever. And during the match, to get the belt off of him so he wouldn't take it to WCW, was what the theory was. Shawn put the move. Shawn actually put the sharpshooter on Bret Hart, if you can see right here in the picture, as I'm putting up right here to make it a little bit bigger. Yep. But he put the sharpshooter on him. Earl Hebner called for the bell, which led to Vince McMahon getting spit in his face. Basically, what happened was he screwed Bret. Bret screwed Bret. I know everyone remembers the promo. Bret screws Bret and stuff like that. The thing I really enjoyed about the match, honestly, besides all, it's not that I enjoyed because I was a huge Bret Hart mark, but I was also huge into Shawn. So. And with this feud going on, I was kind of in the middle. I was like, I don't know where to turn when it comes to this. I don't know who I want to win, or who be supporting, honestly. But with that being said, I did enjoy the Bret destroying the fucking announce equipment and the stuff, and the spitting in Vince McMahon's face. Anyone that's watched the what's it called, the documentary that they did with Bret, Mike?
Hitman Hart, Wrestling with Shadows.
Yeah, Wrestling with Shadows actually showed a part in there where they were fighting, and also where Vince offered Bret Hart in the shower that one punch because he was so upset about it, and Bret took him up on that and punched him one time. And from what I've heard, at least from what Russo and other people have said, that Shane was about to fucking jump all over Bret's ass and beat the shit out of him, and a lot of people thought that Shane could take Bret, and I think he could. I mean, he had a lot of that martial arts background and shit like that too. So that was really, really cool. What did you think about this, Mike, real quick before we move on?
Yeah, it was one of the more shocking moments in Survivor Series, no doubt. Bret just basically went ape shit and lost it. I mean, which I can't blame him. I mean, he was royally fucked over.
Yeah.
Even though they later on it was made public that it was a work, and it didn't. It wasn't as bad as everybody had perceived in the past. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, I can see it being bad for the Hart family and stuff like that, which honestly didn't seem to bother. It probably bothered Davey a little bit more than it did. Owen, but Owen was also, they were also caught up in the contracts and stuff, so they couldn't really even do that.
Yeah.
Going on here, we picked number 2, Undertaker debuts, 1990 Survivor Series, and he was part of the team paid for by the Million Dollar Man, Million Dollar Team versus the Dream Team, and he actually paid Undertaker, with the storyline, he paid Undertaker and Brother Love to come out and destroy the Dream Team, which was Koko B. Ware, Bret Hart, Dusty Rhodes, and I always forget the last one.
And an interesting little side note there about Brother Love, if a lot of our fans don't know, he is actually Bruce Pritchard, who has a great podcast going right now on Podcast
Yeah.
One.
Yeah, Brother Love was Bruce Pritchard, if anyone remembers that. So, which I thought was
great character.
Yeah, great character at that time and stuff. And I love how red he was, and how fucking sunburnt and shit he was. Like, it's all part of the gimmick. Honestly, one of the most destructive people at Survivor Series ever. And honestly, if the Undertaker, it was just amazing. Undertaker, anyone that knows wrestling knows Undertaker. Him coming out and destroying people like that just really added on to his persona and everything that we will see eventually down the road and stuff like that. So I really enjoyed that a lot. And number 3, we got
legacy.
What was that?
It was the beginning of his legacy.
Yeah, it was the beginning of his legacy. Speaking of the Undertaker, we also chose Survivor Series 1994, the casket match between the Undertaker and Yokozuna. And what made this match really, really special is that the special enforcer for the match, to keep all the other wrestlers out, if everyone can remember, they were meant to keep out Jeff Jarrett or Double J and Bam Bam Bigelow and King Kong Bundy, because anyone that remembers that, those were some of the men that actually helped Yokozuna win the first casket match that they had.
Yep.
And but this one, I really enjoyed this one a lot. Chuck Norris, you got to see him do a super kick or a side kick to Double J, which was awesome. Undertaker ended up going over in the match. Great match. Look that up on the WWE Network. Definitely going to plug that because it's one of my favorite ones. Yokozuna looked strong in that match. So did the Undertaker, but it turned out the Undertaker is the person that made Yokozuna rest in peace. What'd you think about that, Mike?
Once again, great match, man. Chuck Norris was just phenomenal in his role there. I loved it.
Oh yeah. And I know we were trying to pick up matches and stuff like that. But me and Mike decided that the best thing to do was count the whole entire 1989 Survivor Series match, or Survivor Series pay-per-view, because of how much stakes it was and what all of it meant. It was on Thanksgiving. It also was there to promote the No Holds Barred pay-per-view, which was also coming up after that, which is going to have Zeus and Randy Savage in a steel cage with Hulk Hogan and Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Some of the matches, just to run through it here real quick with you, so you guys know a little bit more about it, just in case you haven't seen it. The one of my favorite ones was the Ultimate Warriors versus the Heenan family. You had the Rockers, which did a hell of a time in that match. I think it was Tully, or was it Tully? I'm pretty sure it was
Tully and Arn.
Yeah, Tully actually wasn't actually part of that match. I don't know why he wasn't. Maybe he was injured or something. But he was originally supposed to be part of that match, and he actually was replaced by Bobby Heenan himself. But anyone that I'm going to run through this real quick, Mike. Ultimate Warrior knocked out clothesline Andre. He actually got disqualified from the match. You got to see a lot of stuff when it comes to Shawn Michaels. In my opinion, him being one of the not the final two, but one of the last two members of the Ultimate Warriors team, which was awesome. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that's kind of Shawn's breakout moment.
Yeah, that was his breakout. Exactly, that's what I was going to say. His breakout moment to kind of show people that without Marty, he could be a great single star. That match was actually won by the Ultimate Warrior by beating Bobby the Brain Heenan. One of my other favorite ones, just to run real quick through it, was Jake the Snake, Hulk Hogan, and Demolition versus Ted DiBiase, Zeus, and Warlord and Barbarian, the Powers of Pain, and with Mr. Fuji. I enjoyed that a lot because you got to see the somewhat interaction between Hogan and Zeus. I mean, you only saw it for a minute. Zeus choked Hogan and pushed the referee. Zeus ended up getting disqualified. And then eventually in the match, the Warlord and Barbarian got disqualified. So it was pretty much just, at the end of it, was Ted DiBiase and Hogan, and everybody knows about the feuds and stuff that they had. So that I really enjoyed that one myself too. I think my favorite one of the night would have to be, just because I like the dynamics of it. I really enjoyed Rowdy's versus Rude. I really enjoyed that one because I like the rivalry and stuff between Roddy Piper and Rick Rude. I enjoyed that.
Oh yeah.
It also showed basically how perfect Mr. Perfect is. You know, by him being the last sole survivor of that matchup, which I really enjoyed. So, I mean, there's a few more other ones. I mean, that were on that card that that were still good. Yep. Go check them out. But I mean, those were the three that I always think of when I think of 1989 Survivor Series.
Oh yeah.
I know we chose also for number 5 for the best matches and moments. We chose 2002 Elimination, the Survivor Series 2002 Elimination Chamber. The reason why we put that on the list is because it was the first time that Michaels came back after 4 years. I mean, he did his match with Triple H and stuff like that, but this is really, really cool. Anyone that does not know, the members in the Elimination Chamber was the first ever Elimination Chamber created by Eric Bischoff, and it was Booker T, RVD, Kane, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and Jericho. And in my opinion, one of the best Elimination Chamber matches that they've had. I love the ending. Shawn Michaels ended up being Shawn Michaels and Triple H at the end. Shawn Michaels super kick, wins the World Heavyweight Championship, and that was amazing. After 4 years, he finally won the title, and the fact that he took it from Triple H, who he's feuding with, which was awesome too. Go ahead, Mike. What'd you say?
WrestleMania 14. That was his first appearance back in WWE since WrestleMania 14.
Oh yeah. And that to me is just, I mean, him winning the title and me being a huge Shawn Michaels fan. It meant a lot, and I really enjoyed it.
I followed Shawn for a long. I even followed Shawn back in when he was doing back in the Mid-South days.
Oh yeah, he's always been probably one of the best performers in the business. So, number 6, we got the 2014 Survivor Series, which was the Team Cena and Team Authority. I know some people are going, out of all the best moments and matches ever. The only reason why we put this on the list is for a few reasons. We put it on the list because, well, number one, it was Sting's debut. Sting came out when everyone thought that Triple H basically screwed over Ziggler and was going to put him on top of Seth Rollins. When we heard that Sting came out, attacked Triple H, and then ended Scorpion Death Drop on Triple H, and then ended up switching the two around so Ziggler would win it for his team, which would have been a great time to push Ziggler as a single star, that's what we thought he was going to do, but they ended up not doing it. But I put it on the list because it was the first time seeing Sting in WWE, and I mean, who wouldn't leave that? I mean, who would leave that out of the best matches and moments? I mean, of Survivor Series. Why wouldn't you? Why would you leave that out?
It would be ludicrous.
I know. Alrighty. Number 7, we got the 2001 in what I call the Invasion, which is horrible, but it was ECW. It was ECW. Let me see who else it was. I'm trying to think. Sorry, I'm trying to read something real quick here. Oh, okay. Sorry about that, guys. 2001 Survivor Series. It was basically Team WWF versus Team WCW/ECW. It was Kurt Angle, Rob Van Dam, Shane McMahon, Booker T, and at the time, heel Steve Austin versus the team of WWF: Kane, The Undertaker, Big Show, The Rock, and Y2J. I put this on there because maybe the whole invasion angle wasn't the best angle, obviously, but I put it on there because of how the stakes were. I mean, everyone knew that WWF was going to win anyways, but it was still a really cool match. You got to kind of see, Austin kind of try to take control of the situation, and at the end, when you thought everything was over, Kurt Angle actually turns his back on Stone Cold Steve Austin, which leads into The Rock pinning fucking Steve Austin for the win. Vince McMahon comes out in the famous arms up in the air thing, as in he won, and with the classic look of all the people in ECW and WCW in the locker room, all disappointed with their panties in a bunch. I even wrote down panties in a bunch. I swear to God. I mean, we could talk about that whole match all day long. I mean, it's one of those situations where it was a good match. The invasion angle was done bad. Everyone knows that. They could have brought in the bigger stars or Wade, but I mean, who would want to come in though, unless you're going to take an X on the check? I mean, who would fucking want to come in right now when they're sitting at home for 1.5 to 2 years getting paid? So, you know what I mean? So I could totally, I get it. So I'm going to jump past that one then, because we could talk about that all day. One of my favorite ones, Survivor Series 1998, The Rock versus Mankind. In the storyline, you kind of had that feeling like that Vince was going to do something. Vince was really close with Mankind, or so we thought at the time. And it was really, it was like a double cross. In my opinion, a lot of people did not see it coming. I don't care what anyone fucking says. It's one of the best episodes of Raw, in my opinion, or best episodes of Raw that led up to that match. Great writing by Russo and Ed Ferrara, and that's when The Rock basically they pulled a Montreal Screwjob type finish with the sharpshooter on Mankind. They called for the bell. They ended up, Rock and The Rock, Shane McMahon and Vince McMahon ended up hugging at the end of it, which started the whole thing with the corporation and the corporate Rock, as if people want to call it. You know what I mean? I really enjoyed that. Anyone that can go back and watch this match, and this match leads into a lot of other stuff, including the beer truck, and it's just a lot of stuff comes from this. So if you're into some great Attitude Era shows, definitely check out this one. It's one of my favorite ones. 1998 Survivor Series, The Rock versus Mankind. So definitely check out that. What do you think of that, Mike?
Oh yeah, that was a great one there.
Did you think I mean, did you watch it at the time? Did you see The Rock turning?
I didn't actually think he would actually side Vince. That was pretty shocking at the time.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
It was a definite swerve on the audience, that's for sure.
And that's another reason why. I mean, I love swerves, man. Anything that makes me think, anything that can get me out of that zone where I think it's going to happen, and then it turns out don't even happen. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy matches like that, and I will continue to be a fan because of that kind of stuff. Is really what got me a fan of the product in WWE and wrestling in general. Number 9, we were kind of running out on things. I actually put this one before the other one just because of how I preference it. I know me and Mike didn't have it on the list, but I'm gonna put it before that. I'll say Survivor Series 1994 submission match between Bret Hart and Bob Backlund. The reason why I really enjoyed this match a lot is because of the fact of before that, I'm pretty sure 93 Survivor Series is the Survivor Series where Owen supposedly didn't see Bret. Bret ended up getting knocked out of off the apron, and then blamed it all on Bret for him getting eliminated, which started their feud between Bret and Owen. So Owen Hart aligns himself with Bob Backlund and comes out holding the towel. And the whole thing of the match is if you're in a submission and you can't handle it, you throw in the towel like a boxing match or something like that would.
Yeah, gets their mother to throw the towel in.
Mm-hmm. And British Bulldog was in Bret Hart's corner. And anyone that knows, Stu and Helen Hart was at ringside for the match. Owen Hart ended up weaseling his way to basically take Bulldog out of the equation, and then ended up, while Hart had the sharpshooter on Backlund, Bulldogged him in the match, which caused Bret to not see that happening. See the crossface chicken wing. He had the crossface chicken wing on for a while, and there was no one to throw in the towel, so he actually went to get Helen Hart, which is Bret Hart's mom, to try to throw in the towel. But one of my favorite parts is him sitting there crying, and he's looking in the ring, and he's pointing. He's like, "That's my brother. That's my brother. I love him. It's my brother. We haven't been feuded for a year, but it's my brother. Come on." And then finally talks at Helen into throwing it in. Stu grabs the towel and says, "I'm not going to throw that shit in there. Fuck that." Well, he's not. I'm paraphrasing, guys. But he says, "I'm not going to throw it in." Helen takes it out of his hands, throws it in. Bob Backlund ends up winning the WWF title, and which actually leads to, if anyone knows, that's what leads to another match between Bret and Owen. But also leads between another match that Bob Backlund actually lost. And what I want to say, what was it? It was 12 seconds.
8 seconds.
8 seconds. Yeah, 8 seconds to Diesel. Which, if anyone enjoys that, go on.
Square Garden, Kevin Nash.
Yeah, which was not televised, by the way.
Yeah, it was a house show.
Shows you how much they thought of Diesel anyway.
Yep.
Number 10. Number 10, we put this on the list. I kind of fought with Mike about it, but I wanted to come up with some other stuff because obviously there's so many honorable mentions that we could go through, but I'm just trying to go through the ones that always stick out in our mind when we think about it. Undertaker versus Vince McMahon and a Buried Alive match, 2003. This was this was pretty decent match. I enjoyed the end with them he's about to bury Vince in the dirt when Kane comes back out and comes out from around the side, shoots Undertaker with some type of flamethrower looking thing, blinds him. He ends up putting him in the hole and then dropping the dirt on him. Which honestly, the only part I really enjoyed about that was in the 2004 Royal Rumble. They hit the gong, and during the Royal Rumble match, and they had and Kane was freaking out, going, "I buried you alive! I buried you alive! No!" Freaking out or whatever. "My nipples are hard," or whatever the hell he would say. You know what I mean? I did enjoy that. I mean, Kane versus the Undertaker. I really enjoyed the matches that they had in '98 and stuff. You know what I mean? And I enjoyed them more I enjoyed them more when they did the Brothers of Destruction and stuff. Not saying when Kane took off his mask, he kind of killed it for me. Now he had a couple moments after he took off the mask that I will put in that list of being really good. But
yeah, that was a Bischoff idea, by the way.
I will here just in case, so no one gets fucking mad at me. So all the fucking weird ass marks don't yell at me. I will give you some honorable mentions right now that I did write down that I wasn't going to bring up. 2011 Survivor Series, The Rock and John Cena versus Miz and R-Truth was a fucking horrible match. If you ask me, absolutely horrible match. Did not enjoy it, but I will throw it in there because it did kind of help set up the feud that they were going to have and call back out when it's going to be John Cena versus The Rock at WrestleMania. Rock ends up rock bottom. Cena in the middle of the match.
Had the Miz, of course.
After the match. I'm sorry, after the match. And then, but in the middle of the match, Rock basically did not tag in Cena again, and pretty much just laid the smackdown on the Miz and R-Truth's candy asses. So I enjoyed that part of it, but I just in general wasn't a big fan. I will throw this one on here too. 2008. John Cena returns to face Chris Jericho, which was the world heavyweight champion at the time, which is one of my favorite runs that he had. But I will put that on there because Cena came back.
Michael's wife.
Yeah, Cena came back as fucking Superman because he heals faster than fucking Wolverine does. So he heals back, comes back. In Boston, I'm pretty sure, right? It was in Boston. Yeah, it was Boston.
Boston.
He comes back in Boston, ends up beating Chris Jericho for the title, coming back, hoo-ha, blah, 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 whatever, blowing John Cena, whatever. And I think the only other one that I'll tell you real quick, I know we're talking about the best matches and moments, but me and Mike were talking about this, probably one of the worst moments. And I quote from Jim fucking Cornette, anyone that comes out of a fucking egg is over. Yeah, I'm guarantee you the fucking gobbledygooker.
1990.
Yeah, it was fucking horrible. No one liked it. Yes. It was supposed to be a setup, which a lot of people don't know this. That was supposed to be a setup for fucking what's his face? I can't even remember. They were gonna bring him in, and then he ended up not coming in. Terry Funk.
Terry Funk.
Yeah, they were gonna bring him in, and then they decided not to do that. And then when he did come back in the fucking Attitude or during the Attitude Era. Jim Cornette, being the fucking dumbass that he is, called it again and said, "Oh, why don't we just put Terry Funk in a fucking egg like it and have him but thank God Russo was there and explained to fucking people like that's not gonna fucking work. Let's put him in a fucking box and have him fucking saw his fucking way through there at least. Let's make it fucking cool and entertaining." So thank you, Vince. Thank you, fucking Ed, for actually pitching that shit and that actually working. Because if I watch fucking Terry Funk or Cactus or Chainsaw Charlie come out of a fucking egg, I probably would have shit an egg and then fucking shoved it in my eyeballs because that's how bad it would have been.
Oh yeah, that would have been horrible.
I mean, is there any other moments that you can think of, or any bad moments that you can think of that just fucking sucked?
Well, let's see. No, not really.
Man, in a few words, love it. Well, no. I can't fucking think of it. But, really appreciate everybody checking out this video and staying by here with me. If there's any matches or moments that you thought of that we forgot or even think are better than the ones we came up with, please put them in the comments below. Please like and retweet definitely. And subscribe to our channel if you have not yet. Chris Lawrence 420 at 420 Wrestling Pod on Twitter, and we got Michael Beelan at JeterFan35 on Twitter too. So go on our Twitters, hit us up, see what we're doing, see what we're posting. We're always posting a lot of crazy shit, and there's gonna be more videos coming here soon on my channel. A lot more interviews coming up too. If you haven't checked it out yet, go check out the interview I did with Jake DeMarco earlier today. It's up on my YouTube channel. It's part 2. Check that out. We really enjoyed it. Jake enjoyed it. It's so entertaining. Please go and check it out. And here soon is I'm trying to think of when the date is. I can't remember when it is, but here soon I'm going to be trying to go. I'm going to try to go see independent show around here in Cincinnati.
Awesome.
And if I do go to that, I'm going to try to get some of the indie guys on my show and maybe on Joe Cronin's show real quick too. Oh, just to plug everybody else's too. Just real quick, go check out Joe Cronin's show on his YouTube page. I'm going to link it in the description below. Check him out on Twitter at Joe Cronin Show. Also check out my boy. If you have not seen the new episode of Super Ugly Show that went on last night at 7:30, go back through and watch it. You'll crack up laughing. They put John in a shot collar. It's amazing. At Super Ugly Show, and you can find them also on YouTube. Also, you got JD from New York 206 on Twitter. Check him out too. He does awesome videos. I know this coming Friday he's going to have some new off the script, and definitely check out Barbershop for his t-shirts. Get Off My TV t-shirts and his Eva Marie t-shirts or his Eva Marie t-shirt
at Barbershop Window on Twitter.
Yeah, go there. Contact him on Twitter. Look him up. Look up his material. It's awesome too. Also, go ahead, check out Final Frontier News. No, it's a really awesome show. They talk if you like anything paranormal, aliens, conspiracy theories, anything like that, definitely go check that out. That's with Jesse J, Devious Dave Rose, and the one and only Joe Cronin. So definitely go check that out. Please like, subscribe, and hit us up on Twitter, guys. I really appreciate it. See you guys on the Flip Flop.
Yeah,
later.
We appreciate everything you guys do for us.
Yeah, definitely. I'll check you guys out on the Flip Flop. This is Chris Lawrence 420 on my YouTube channel.
This is Michael Beelan at Jeter Fan 35 saying, have a good one.